I mean, really, when do you ever get the chance to peek into 30 authentic German kitchens? Well, today you have your chance because I asked my German followers on my Instagram to send me their kitchen photos and they did. Hello, I'm Sissy and I'm originally from Berlin, Germany, and I have been living in the US for 16 years. By the way, kitchens are not always included if you rent an apartment in Germany. I've seen many apartments in Berlin where I lived before that did not include any kitchens and you had to buy your own kitchen. I've never seen this in the US except maybe if you have a house that you want to remodel, a project or something. But usually kitchens are included in the US. So if you rent an apartment in Germany, you need to specifically look for EBK, which means Einbauküche, so a built-in kitchen. Otherwise, you might end up renting an apartment that does not even have a kitchen. Generally, I would say that kitchens overall in Germany look more modern, more sleek, but also look more simple than US kitchens. Of course, we all have different tastes, no matter if you live in America or in Germany, but the majority of kitchens that I have seen, and from coming in all those photos that my followers sent me, the kitchens are more modern. Even decoration seems more simplistic and very minimalistic than many kitchens that I've seen here in the US. I've seen the kitchens from all my friends here in the US, and these kitchens are more traditional, a little bit more like my kitchen. This is a pretty normal kitchen, I would say. And in the US, granite countertops seem to be a very common thing to do. I have granite countertops, but in Germany you will barely see that. It is not really a thing. People have more wood or laminate countertops. And then the whole floor plan, it is more and more common in newer buildings in Germany too to adapt the open concept that goes into the living room. But older buildings will definitely still have the kitchen in a separate room, so you're kind of excluded from everything what happens in the living room. Also in Germany, they really like if the finish of the kitchen cabinets is glossy. I rarely see something like that in the US, and that seems to be the trendy kitchen thing to do in Germany. The next thing is the stove itself. First of all, the stove in Germany generally is smaller than the US versions that are really huge. And a really common thing seems to be, looking at all those pictures that I got sent, that they have the induction cooktop separate from the oven. So most of the kitchens had that, and it looks really modern and sleek in my opinion. And I've seen similar styles in the US too, but not that often. And also you will see rarely a gas stove in Germany. And something else I noticed on the photos, I was completely unfamiliar with this. They have a cover up for the induction cooktop. So you can barely see that there is a cooktop once they have this cover on top. I guess it protects also the cooktop. The next thing that's really different in German kitchens is they do not have a garbage disposal. Germans are generally super scared of garbage disposals. They think, probably because they have seen horror movies as we all did, that it will chop off your hand or your finger or something. But not only that, even though it's not generally illegal in Germany to have a garbage disposal, most cities will have laws that it's not allowed to dispose kitchen waste through your wastewater, and so you cannot really use a garbage disposal. And also, Germans generally think that this will only attract rats. Scientists are really torn about this, but there are studies, I can link one below, that say the direct opposite. When you dispose your waste through the garbage disposal, that it won't attract rats because it gets so small, chopped into 2mm pieces, that rats don't really care for that. And let's talk about fridges. Though I have seen now from all the photos I have been sent, 4 fridges that had really an American size fridge, and 3 of them even included an ice maker. That is pretty new to Germany. When I used to live there, nobody had that, but most people still have a much smaller fridge. It's almost half the size of an American standard fridge like this one. And the reason for that probably is also, as I spoke in my last video about the food packages, the sizes of them are just much smaller. You don't need that huge gigantic fridge to put in a gallon of milk, all these super large oversized products we have here in the US. Things are smaller, so you need a smaller fridge really. And when you open up a German fridge on the side, you can see there is not even enough space on that shelf to put a gallon of anything. So everything is kind of more smaller. And what's also very common in Germany is that the fridge is a built-in. You literally barely see that there is a fridge. From outside it just looks like a cabinet, but really when you open it up from inside you see, oh, that's a fridge. Another thing many Germans seem to like, Thermomix, or maybe in English pronounced Thermomix. And I've seen from all the pictures that got sent to me, at least 8 households own one. And what is it? Think of it as a futuristic blender that also sautés, steams, stirs, grinds, chops, cooks, ferments, and kneads even dough. And it even has a touch screen and offers you recipes. I've never owned one. I don't know if I would like it or not, and it's super pricey, around 1,400 euro. But apparently Thermomix is really successful in Germany, and last year apparently 7.5 million of these kitchen machines have been sold. And I asked my own followers on my Instagram from Germany if they own one, and it was the minority, but it was still a bunch. So 26% own one, and that is 320 people, while 74% don't own one. I just thought it's interesting, and I don't think many Americans do own this kitchen machine or know what it is. And the next thing that's different in German kitchens is that the sink is much smaller than most standard American kitchen sinks. All of the pictures, there was not one that had a double-sided sink, which I see very often in the US. All of them had only one side, and on the other side they had kind of a dish drain side. And I also saw rarely anybody having a faucet with a pull-down sprayer. And I see this here very often in the US. Yeah, not only German and American kitchens are very different, also German and American bedrooms are super different. And if you're curious about the differences in the bedroom, then check out this video. I also wanted to thank all my followers that sent me their kitchen photos. Auf Wiedersehen!